Look at him show out. Hey y'all, Justin with Catfish. Today's video is another one that kind of follows the same pattern that you've seen in my most recent videos. I got out here a little before dawn, anchored down and set up, and for that first hour and a half after the sun come up there, the bite was on. I was just getting taps and catching fish left and right, and then about 8:15, 8:30ish this morning, the bite just kind of shut off, and that's how it's been the last few trips out. It's been a morning bite right there as the sun comes up. I had hoped today, we had a thick fog out here this morning. We got some rain last night, and there was a thick fog, and I had hoped that that fog would help extend that morning bite a little longer, but it just wasn't the case. About 8:30 or so, it's been just kind of sporadic since then. But I hit two different areas out here today. I started out in a creek mouth and fished there for the bulk of my trip, and then once I hadn't had a bite there in a long time, I slid on downstream and I anchored down here at the top of a hole, and that's where I've spent the remainder of the trip today. And I've caught a few more fish here, just kind of picking up sporadically, like I said. But all in all, it's been a good day. I got some action. I got a big fish. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, there's got some weight on it now. Let me get this one down here, and we're gonna deal with that one. Been having some dink taps. A dink had ripped this bait off the hook. That one's got some weight on it there. Let's pick up on it. Let's pick up on it. He's on there. He don't feel terribly big, but we're getting the skunk out anyway. These fish are active this morning. These carp and buffalo just jumping all over the surface out here, and I've had dink taps from the moment I've anchored down. I've been on the water, I've been anchored down and set up maybe 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and just immediately the dinks were just peck, 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 and like I said, they had ripped the bait off that one up there a minute ago. So what do you eat? Gizzard shad head. There he is. That's pale, buddy. Look at that. That is a pale fish. He's a light yellow, light brown. He's probably been deep most of the winter here. He's still pretty. I like them all. I don't discriminate. Go get big, Mr. Flathead. I'm gonna drop that bait back down. Those baits I'm using is some gizzard shad. I had caught them on Tuesday nights and Thursday when I'm filming this video, and I had caught them on Tuesday night, so they're a little over a day old. And that's usually about with shad. I usually don't like to use them past about the 2-day mark. I like them as fresh as I can get them, preferably catch them the day of, but these early morning trips like this, it's nice to go ahead and have some versus having to catch them when you get out here, just because I like to take advantage of this bite here at first light. So we'll drop that back down. Let's see if we can get some more. Tell if he's on or not. He hit it. We'll pick up on it and just see if he's on there. Yeah, he's on there. He's hooked up with it. I think it's another small one. These dinks have, like I said before, they have just been on me since I dropped my baits down. It's just an active morning out here. Like I said, there's carp and buffalo splashing everywhere. I've seen some bass busting back in that creek. You can hear the turkeys gobbling everywhere. There's a lot of activity going on out here this morning. I just need them big kitties to be active. There he is, little dink blue. Ate a gizzard shad head. We'll drop it back down, see if we can get the big one. I'm optimistic today. There he goes, fish on. If I can steer him out of my other line there. He went that direction for it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this morning so far has kind of been kind of been a dud. You know, recent trips, that bite at first light there is when I've been getting my better fish, and you know, it's starting to certainly past that point this morning. Now, thankfully, we had some rain last night, so we've got a lot of fog on the river here this morning, and I think that's that extra cloud cover I was hoping would give me a little extra time out here this morning. Hopefully get on some bites, but thus far it's been this size of fish and smaller, because they have been stripping my hooks just left and right. I have went through some shad this morning just getting ripped off the hook without even hooking up. So I'm gonna keep at it. I may end up moving. You know, I've kind of been doing this thing this year where I'm sitting on spots a lot longer and kind of just doing a year-long experiment. If you follow my website, you know, I've talked about this and some blog posts and articles. But you know, today, with just like I said, the number of dinks that are down there just stripping my hooks, these small fish, I almost feel like I need to move to get away from them and give myself a chance at a bigger fish today. But I'm gonna set it out here a while longer and just see if things change. If some big fish move in here, I think it'll disperse these smaller ones. So you know, hopefully we'll give it some time, see what happens. There goes one. There goes a fish. There he goes. That one's big enough to get hooked up right there. I just reeled that line in. You can see there another dink has stripped that hook. I finally got one big enough to actually eat the bait and the hook for once. This might be worth turning the other camera on here for, maybe. Tell you what, I'm about frustrated with these dinks. I don't mind catching small fish, but when you own fish that are so small, you can't even get them on the hook. It's just makes for a frustrating day. Thankfully, I got a lot of bait today. I may still end up moving. We'll see what this one's like when I get him up here. I think this is probably a flathead. I don't feel him rolling yet. I was hoping to catch some more flatheads today. Fishing. If you've been watching my last few videos, I've been fishing upriver from here, hitting a shallower section of the river, and today I'm back a little further downstream. Got the same current flow. They're still running 33,000 CFS at Fort Loudon Dam, which is what they've been running my last few videos there, my last few trips. But you know, I'm farther downstream, so river's deeper down here, it's wider down here. It's not the same intensity of the flow where I'm at. Today I'm fishing another creek mouth. This creek dumps in here. It's 34 feet where I'm at. Water temp's a little warmer here too. It's 65 degrees. Hey, this is a blue, man. I thought it was a flathead. It's a blue. That's pretty good one too. Let's get that camera over there and get a look at him. There he goes. I didn't think it was done yet. Look at him show out. That is a good one. I'm gonna stand up and bring this one in. Move that camera there. It's the last thing I want to see is that thing go flying. Look at that. Look at that now. That's a good one, buddy. I like that. That's what he eat right there, that old gizzard shad head. I got it back too, thankfully. So I'm gonna use it again. Let's hold him up here. Man, I am so thankful to get this fish. I was so close to moving, y'all. You just don't know how close I was to pull an anchor and moving. There's a hole downstream from here, you know, a few hundred yards, but it's a lot deeper water. And I thought, you know, if these dinks are up here at this creek, maybe I'll move down there to that hole and find some better fish. So may still end up doing that, but I am thankful to hook into this feller. I am impressed with him. Well, let's let him go. What do you say? Go get even bigger, you ugly thing. I'm just kidding. I think you're beautiful. There you go. Back where he come from. hooked up again. On a positive note, the dinks have kind of been leaving me alone here the last little bit. It's about 8:30 right now, 8:30-ish. But all the action seems to be dying off. The carp and the buffalo, they're not splashing. The dinks have got one here, but they ain't been pecking as much. Alright, another little dink. At least he was big enough to eat the bait and the hook. Like I said though, it's just been it was all kinds of surface activity out here earlier. The carp and the buffalo jumping around, turkeys in the woods, dinks pecking at my baits constantly for the last half hour or so. Now the sun's starting to peek out, this fog's starting to burn off. And that's been how it's been lately. About 8:30ish and on, the bite just dies off. But I'm gonna put in some more time out here today. Kind of happy that those dink taps are subsiding a little bit, just because they were ripping my baits off left and right. And I'm hoping if I can just get my baits down there and soak them a while, maybe a big fish will move through. So I'm gonna rebait this line and put our time in. Fish. Oh, let's pick up on that. I was trying to rest my eyes a little bit. It's so long since I've even had a peck. I moved off that creek mouth and slid downstream here. I'm at the top of this hole now. And I thought, wasn't doing any good up there. I'd sat there about 4 hours. Got dinked to death this morning. Got that one good fish, and so I thought, well, sun's up, I hadn't had a bite for a while. I'll slide down here, put myself at the top of this hole. And so far it's been a bust too, other than this one little dink here that I got on the line right now. There he is. Not much to look at, but by gosh, he was needed. It's been dull out here for a while. I think that head's about had it. I'm going to replace that with some fresh bait. I got a fish on right there now. I got a fish on. That might be a better one. Got the camera going. This one might be worth going through the trouble of filming a little extra for it. This one here ate some threadfin shad. I'm out of gizzards, and the other head I'd had on, if the other dink had been caught on this rod, it was done, so I put some threadfin shad on here. Alright guys, he's a dink, but he's a fat dink. He's probably the biggest of the dinks I've caught this morning. Said other than that one good blue cat, it's been this size and smaller, and since the sun got up high in the sky, it ain't been a whole lot of that either. I'm probably gonna give it another hour out here though, just to we'll give it the time. I ain't got nothing else to do today. I'd sure rather be out here than sitting home in front of the TV set. Fish on here. Oh, that was got a fish on. Well, poor timing on this fish, y'all. Poor timing. I've hooked this fish, but the real situation, let me get up here so I can show you. I was about to reel in my lines because this right here, I've got a green buoy, green navigational buoy that has worked its way free, I guess, and it is moving downstream here on a direct path with me. We'll see if I can get this fish in here, and I may have to put landing him on hold for a minute, actually. See if I can push this buoy off of me as it comes down. You never know what you're gonna see drifting down river. always a good idea to keep an eye on what's going on behind you. You never know what's floating there. Let's see. Get rid of this fish here pretty quick. Oh. Now come on now, fish. We got stuff to do. Got stuff to do. I need you to calm it down a notch. I'll send you home right quick. Goodness. Look, sitting there deep. There you go. Alright, you're free. Alright. Well, let's deal with this buoy here. It may actually miss me. Believe it or not. The wind's blowing that way. So it may kind of push it. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close race here. Alright, y'all. I got lucky. That buoy missed me. I didn't have to reel in my other lines, but I do think that I probably will go ahead and call it a day out here. It's been an interesting morning. I got my hopes up first thing because this fog was real thick out here, and I thought, you know, with this bite I've been on here lately, just been right at sunrise for that first hour or so after the sun come up, I thought today with the fog as thick as it was, that bite might extend a little longer, but it really wasn't the case. About 8:30 or so, the bite was just kind of dead, and you know, even the dink taps, I was just getting eat up with dinks first thing. I mean, they were stripping my hooks left and right, and you know, thankfully I caught a few of those, and of course I got that one real good blue there. But then after that, after about 8:30, I sat there on that spot a while, and just not much of anything going on. And so then I come down here, anchored down on right at the top of this deep hole here, downstream from that creek, and I've been sitting here ever since. I think that last fish I caught, I think it was the third dink I've got here. But you know, like I said, it's just been a morning bite here lately. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.